right, girls. Well, we rehearsed.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box. To the left, in the closet. That's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, say, don't touch.
Girl, we sound mad good.
What's good, what's popping, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Lelona, and thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Everything Lelona, where we talk about everything and anything. Yeah. Now, if you are new here, welcome, baby. I really hope that you'll enjoy this video that will make you. Hit the subscribe button somewhere over here. And if you are a regular subscriber, gang, say one, what's good, what's up, what is it? Yeah. I really hope that you are well and that you are taking care of yourself. Okay? So we're back with a brand new video, a brand new story time, point blank, period. And this story time, when I tell you this, bitches, these hoes betraying me, and I am not the one. I am not the one. Don't try me. Don't try me. I'm not the one. Like, when I eventually get into the story time, I'm sure you guys are going to be as pissed as I was. Because, Sana, tell me, why did this boy think it was a good idea to make me catch feelings, right? And then come back and tell me about my past relationships and how he was involved in those. And I was like, but I am going to get into the story time. But before we do so, please do not forget to continue voting for me for the Emerge Africa Award for YouTuber of the Year. Voting details are on screen right now, so keep voting up until the 15th of March, which is when voting lines close. So let's bring this one home and ensure that we're up, okay? So if you are interested and excited to hear more of this story time, please make sure that you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share this video. You super thanks me, you do the absolute most. And without wasting your time, let's get into this video. So this story time happened sometime last year, and this was during the time where I was in my sad boy era. I was in my depressed boy era. I was down and out because there was a lot going on, hey? There was absolutely a lot going on. And one of the things that were making me sad and depressed is the fact that I was single. And not just I'm single, but I did not see any prospects of a possible Mjolo in the horizon. Things were just looking bleak, okay? Like, I was like, it then doesn't work out, and then I try another relationship here. Nothing worked. Like, nothing was working. When it came to Mjolo, it was just going like this, right? So I was like absolutely sad. I was depressed. I was down and out, and that was the state of mind I was in at that point, right? So it had been a couple of months since I was with someone, and I thought to myself, Haibo, if Kaloko, I am so depressed and I have explored every possible avenue, let me go back to Tinder. Let's see what's on Tinder. Perhaps things have changed on those streets, right? Yeah. So I went back to Tinder, I downloaded Tinder again, and I updated my profile. So the updated profile the pictures ezintsha. Quite cute, and I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm not catching a nigga with these pictures because they're giving, okay? So Nyan, I go back to Tinder and I'm like, now let's start swiping. So I swipe. I'm swiping right on quite a lot of people, not because I am attracted to them, but I'm like, let's just give people that I would not normally give a chance to a chance, right? So let's just give people a chance, and not just people who are my types, because what has dating my type gotten me thus far? Absolutely nothing, because I have been dating my type all along, and here I am, single, depressed, and sad. So I was like, let's give people a chance. Let people prove themselves to me. You understand? So I'm swiping, and I'm matching with quite a few guys there, and some of them obviously will fall on the way because I'm like, you're really not my type, you really have nothing to say, or your conversation is boring or whatever, but we just would not click, right? Now came in this boy. You guys know what my type is, and this guy was the polar opposite of what my type was. My type is big built, is really tall, is dark skinned, medium ugly, a beard maybe. Mfana man must have a bit of scary looking. Just a bit, not a pretty boy. I'm pretty na guys, like I am being for real. I'm beauty, I'm pretty. Please. So this boy was beauty, he was pretty, he was slender, he was slim, he a bit light skinned. You can tell bana bafana the skincare routine. You understand? You can tell where to. He reminds me a lot of Banele Christopher on Instagram. He's built just like that. Slender and slim frame, clean face, good looking. It's giving juvenile. It's giving umdana, a child, yeah, but like even though he's in his 30s, but he looks very young, and that's not what I'm attracted to. But I said we are opening up my heart. I said we are opening up the horizon and let's see what's out there. So I gave him a chance because right after him and I matched, I'm sure 5 minutes into it, he sent me a text. Sends me a text. He says, "Oh my God, I cannot believe you and I actually matched here." And because of that one statement, it made me think that this is someone who knows me outside of Tinder. This is someone who might have seen me either on Instagram, or someone who has seen my YouTube, or maybe someone who has seen me around with but has never had a conversation with me. And I'm very weary when it comes to people who watch my channel and then are attracted to me, because I'm like, what are you attracted to? Are you attracted to the fact that I give off whole vibes? Is that what you're thinking about me or think of me? This one is a hoe and ulula, so kuzabalula to get into his pants. So that's what I always think about when people say, I watch your channel and I want you. Fine, I'm like, you know what? Let me just entertain this boy. Let's see where things will go. So him and I start chatting, and let's name him. We are going to name him Sive. So uSive ke nyani abe ngumuntu ozicacisayo az andi-explainele ngaye, azibalise nam ke ndizibalise ndizi-explain obana, oh, this is me, this is how I am, this is what I like, this is what yabo. So nyani ke things start aligning with Haibo Tina lady are aligning, the stars are aligning, like things are looking up for a boy, yabo, because this boy is like telling me about, like, from what I've read about you on your bio and your pictures, you seem like you are a nice person. You've got a zest for life. There's someone who said that on Love is Blind, zest for life, and that's something that this boy like said. You look like you enjoy life. You enjoy laughing. You don't take yourself too seriously. And I'm like, that's exactly how I am. And he was spot on in how he described me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you see me for me, you. So we chat. I'm sure we chatted on Tinder for a couple of days before we eventually moved over to WhatsApp. And like it's just inevitable in Dobana. We are going to exchange numbers. If we like each other here, we are going to exchange numbers and move over to WhatsApp, right? So we did exactly just that. So he's like, he asked for my number. He's like, can we move this to WhatsApp? So I gave him my number and then we moved over to WhatsApp. We started chatting there, and like I said, I'm always weary about people who know me from social media. So I did raise it in Dobana. do we follow each other? So he said, I don't think so. So I said to him, give me your social media handle. He gave it to me, and I went over to his profile. He was a private. He had a private profile. It's private, and we weren't following each other. So I told him that, can I block you, because I don't like dating someone who has access to my social media, because there are things that might be taken out of context. I might post something and it be taken out of context, and I don't want to start arguments over things that are posted on social media. I don't want to see things and assume ukuba this is what this means. So gotta block, yeah, but because I just don't want to see those things, and I don't want you to see those things as well, yeah, but so it's like, yeah, sharp, cool, sharp. Blocked him, and then we continued talking. I'm sure we spoke for like a month before we first video called each other. He video calls me. He's exactly the person in the pictures. Looks good too. Like I said, he's a good looking boy. Yeah, boy. We chat. And I keep saying boy. Wow. Yet this person's like 2 years older than me. He's like 35. So we like chat for a month before we start video calling each other. We video call each other, and this is such a long time for me to start imagining things. Like, you guys know me. There's a visions of us about how life will be for the both of us. Already said a lot. I'm already overlooking the fact that he's not my usual physical, typical type. I'm already thinking about marriage, kids, living together, growing up. Hey! So, kuyo yonke ke lento, guys, of us chatting, right? He says to me that, you know when ndiyakwazi, I know you when. I know you from back in the day. So you know me from back in the day? What do you mean you know me from back in the day? What does that mean? He's like, I know you from your Pretoria days. Do you care to elaborate on what that means? He's like, no, I'll tell you when you and I meet in person. So Koma, what do you mean, Sana? Like, what do you mean you will only tell me when we meet in person? So now I must sit here knowing that you know me from my past, or you know me from like back in the day, yet I have no clue or idea of who you are. I move on from that. I don't know. Either tell me, or you should have just not told me that you know me, and you should have told me the day we eventually see each other, because that's going to be stuck in my mind and in my subconscious. Yeah? So a couple of days after he has told me that he knows me from back in the day, I get a DM or a message request on Instagram from an account I don't follow, and that doesn't follow me as well. So this person is like, yo, what's up? And then they send me a picture of them, or of like a TV, right? Where this person that's sending me the DM is watching my video on YouTube. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with your stories, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much, yeah, bro. I'm like, thank you so much. After I responded to this person, they're like, oh, and now I feel so bad because you're such a nice person, because I think I responded give voice note, right? I responded with a voice note. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then they're like, oh my gosh, I now feel so bad because I dated your ex. I dated him while you and him were dating. And he starts describing this ex, where the ex stayed. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the most serious relationships I was in. And this was like close to a decade ago. So I'm thinking to myself, why are you telling me this? Why unkazela lendo? Like, ufuna mtini, what must I do with this information? So I just laughed it off and I said, oh, okay, cool, sharp. Yeah, bro? And I kept it moving. And then it hits me, but could this be Usive? Because Usive said to me that he knows me from back in my past. And could this be him? Yeah, bro? So I'm like, is that what Usive wants to tell me when he eventually sees me in person, that he knows me because he dated my ex. Hey, could this be him? So now my mind is racing at 180 kilometers per hour because I'm trying to see, let me go back to Sive's profile, which I blocked, see if maybe there's like, I don't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to see if Izan Bonisa, if Usive is followed by someone I follow, and then I go back to this person to see if, because I'm gonna any link. But Sana Komba, okay, I answered it because it's private and it's not showing me who's following Usive. And I posted about it. I took a screenshot of the conversation and then I posted it on my stories on IG. And then I told Usive, right? Ukuba, hey bo, not someone coming at me telling me that they dated my ex and they were basically my ex's side while my ex and I were together. So I start venting to Usive about, oh my gosh, like, how bored are you with your own life for you to keep and sit on that information for years and years and years, only for you to come and tell me that now? Like, I dated this guy when? Like, years ago, bro. Like, almost a decade ago. Like, 2016. That's when it ended. And now you want to tell me this in 2014? Sorry, 2024? That's like close to a decade already. So I'm like, you must be so bored and so miserable with your own life for you to only come and tell me that now. Like, ufrandini, I don't even care about that person anymore. Usive did not have a lot to say, which then made me believe that he might be the person that sent me that DM. Yabo? I'm not going to even insinuate that he might be this person to him. So Nyanke, we're still talking and getting to know each other. And then I'm like, I think I'm ready for us to meet in person. When would you like to meet up? Because I'm free on this day. I give him the date and say we can meet in Bram. We can have a date at the playground. Yeah, bro. So he's like, yeah, cool, sharp. I'm up for that. We can definitely meet and go to the playground for our first date. Sharp. Nyan. When the day comes, again, I see him and I'm like, I'm really trying to get into the mood of things, but there's a lot weighing on me. One, you're not my type. Like, you're not my type, and I'm not even getting a hard on for you when I see you. Like, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm not really attracted to this guy. Yeah, well, so he comes, we hug, and I'm thinking about the fact that he might be this person that sent me a DM, anonymous DM, and was out here telling me about my ex and stuff like that. So we get to this date and we sit, okay, we talk, we start talking, and I'm like, oh, also, by the way, you said to me, Rena, that the stuff that you wanted to tell me about how you know me, because he's like, yeah, which is why I was so shocked when you and I matched on Tinder. So when I first saw you on Tinder and when I swiped right and then it said match, so it means, so I saw him first and then he saw me after I had swiped right on him. He's like, oh my gosh, I was so shocked because I'm like, this is the guy. I'm like, what do you mean this is the guy? He's like, so when you were still in Pretoria, you, meaning me, he's like, you dated someone I was dating. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, you dated someone I was dating, and then I made it a point to follow you on your social media and then find any clues to who you were dating after you'd broken up with the person I was dating. I'm like, okay, so what are you saying? He's like, I'm pretty sure, Ukuba, I dated 2 or 3 people that you dated after you dated the guy I was with. So, Noma, hi, Karusana, you can't talk in riddles. Who's this guy that you say I dated? So he says you dated this person, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did date this person. But when I was dating this person, they were single. We were spending every single day together. So there's absolutely no way that this man was in a relationship. He's like, yeah, he was. And then, so I'm like, so already now I'm like, I'm already confused about, okay, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? He's like, after that, you dated Uzbani, and I went after him, and I got him. Now, he was like this. He's like, no. You dated this guy, and I went after him, and I got him. I made him my one-night stand. No. And then you left that guy and went and dated Banbani. And then I went after him. We had a one-night stand. No. And then you left him and went to this guy now, the guy that I dated, our relationship ended in 2016, right? He's like, I went after him, and him and I were like fuck buddies for quite some time. Wara. And yes, it was me who sent you that DM because I wanted to hurt you. What? So I'm sitting there like, you are such a psychopath. You are such a psychopath because one, you were using your own hole, sweetie, for a revenge that I had no idea. You were getting run through, not me. You were getting run through by these niggas because you wanted to get back at me. I didn't even know that those things were happening at the time. And now you are bringing them a decade later thinking that will still hurt me. It doesn't. So I'm sitting there like, oh. Like I was like, you guys have no idea. I sat there in shock. I sat there, I had no emotions. I had, like, my face was blank. I was like this. Jonga, wayibalisa umntana into yakhe, wayibalisa istory sakhe sokuba he wanted to get back at me. No. So when we matched on Tinder, he wanted to make me fall in love with him, and then he can come and tell me this entire story and break all of my hopes. When I was like, you are an actual psychopath. Do you know this? You sat with information for over 10 years. You sat with information for over 10 years. Information I had no idea about. And you did things with people that I was dating, and I never knew about those things. And you're now telling me this information 10 years later. I went off, I popped off, and I stood up and I left his ass there. I said, don't come for me. Bitch, don't come for me. And there's absolutely nothing that you can tell me about my past that you think will hurt me. Everyone that I dated in my past has no significant role that they play in my future or in my present. So if you're gonna tell me that you were fucking my ex, fuck you and fuck him as well. I said fuck you and fuck him, and I stood up and I left. Jonga, he then started sending me screenshots of how those people and him were still talking. He's like, yeah, they still want me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You can still give them pussy. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You nguwe qha umuntu ozawutyiwa pha uzotyiwana uzawutyiwa wena, and I don't care now. Guys, I don't care. And I was like, you tried it. You thought you were doing something, but sis, you did nothing. You did nothing. Like, you just wasted my time. That's all you did. You just wasted my time, and you wasted your own time as well. Because you could have focused all of this energy into something productive and into actually building a relationship with someone that you liked, and maybe someone that also liked you. First, like, also, you weren't even my types of tech. And yeah, that's the story of how these bitches be out here trying me. Like, they're trying me, yeah. So if you enjoyed this story, please give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below, subscribe to my channel, share my video, super thanks me, and do the absolute most. So let's kick it down below. What's the craziest thing you have done to, Like when it comes to indaba zothando, what's the craziest thing you have done? Leave that all down in the comment section below and let's just laugh and kiki about it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.